Hi friends, and welcome to the video for the water signs, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. I will do tarot readings for each one. And first I'm going to talk about how we just had the supermoon in Gemini, the full moon, supermoon, that was very revelationary. Things that were mysterious or hidden in the dark came to light, lies, secrets, hidden plans, hidden motives. You may have been shocked or surprised. Over the past 6 to 2 months, 6 weeks, 2 months period, we had retrograde Saturn, retrograde Mercury, which is about the strategy that doesn't work and the ideas that don't work or the secrets that don't work, which could be like someone's villain plan. You may have thought someone is like a villain here. You may have actually believed that someone was like a villain. That was the only way you could identify with this behavior of a strategy that doesn't make any sense and the way you feel about it, because you just go by how you feel. If it doesn't feel right to you, you're like, no. If you don't like it, no. However, you could have been dealing with people who are like mental magicians, people who are operating on a different level where they're just dealing with ideas. Now, you could also be dealing with people who are very physical, like I'm going to go run 10 miles and then I'm going to have some new ideas. And you're sitting there, well, I don't want to go run 10 miles in the snow, or, I don't want to do that. And you're thinking, what is this person doing? It makes no sense. You could also think that because you refuse to do things, people think you're a cold, heartless person. And you're like, I'm not cold and heartless. I don't like that. People could think and make a mistake that you are cold, uninterested, lazy, indifferent, that you don't care about people. That is the polar opposite of what was going on. And this is a good time for people to come out and show their true colors about the water signs. If anybody during this 6-week period accused you of being cold, heartless, a B word, or, you're the opposite of that. You care very, very much on a deep level, to a point where you're just maybe you lose sleep at night. You feel sometimes a little too much. It's not your responsibility to care about that person's situation. Now, or you don't need to care why they think what they think of you. It doesn't matter. And this could give way to fear. If you think someone is a villain, if your spidey sense or your juju about a person is that person is just off. That person gives me glares every day. They glare at me when I come in. That is most likely due to fear. There's a person that is in fear. They don't understand you. Maybe they grew up maybe they're a Capricorn and they're they don't understand emotions. Now, okay, this period could have made you feel betrayed, mocked. There could have been someone who mocked you, embarrassed you publicly for sure, taken advantage of you, used you for your money, punished you for being nice, which is also really weird. This is for the retrogrades, not the full moon. The full moon was the revelation of that. You would see someone's true colors. You then would put on emotional armor. I'm going to just, shield myself. You would talk less to that person, share your ideas less, talk about yourself less, not share, revealing yourself, which is vulnerable. You'd become less vulnerable as a way to protect yourself. And then in that protection from this person or group that you think is, not a nice people or something, you would be interpreted as cold or something like that. But what you're really doing is discerning. You're discerning. I'm making a smart choice for myself because I don't trust you. So that's what it is. Really, it's you're dealing with people with trust issues, discipline issues. Okay, so you could also be dealing with people who are lazy, or accuse you of being lazy. What you really have now is you find out who you can trust and who you can't trust. And so then you develop true compassion, genuine emotional intelligence, and it might even prove that you were right all along. And I might just title this video that, You Were Right All Along. Because then you become spiritually pure, emotionally confident in yourself. You feel confident about your own observation or intuition. Safety is a big one for you. You're like, I don't want to go somewhere where I don't feel safe, where I feel like my vulnerability will be used against me. There are people who, out of their own fear, develop a strategy to, they're, maybe competing with you. Your vulnerability is now your strength. So you can show true compassion to the people that deserve it. You may have been embarrassed, ashamed, made to feel regretful, made to feel wrong in front of others, because nothing matters if nobody sees it. If you're alone in your room, nobody cares. So you may have been publicly shamed online on social media. You may have had people say comments that are not nice. You may have had people who disagree with you publicly to make you look dumb. If you have air in your chart, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you should look at the air signs to see what they've been through. Your true essence is compassion, maternal, listening, intuitive, emotionally generous with your time, listening to someone's BS or crap that you don't even like. You're like, but you do care. But I think most people wouldn't care. Okay, so you aren't cold. You were protecting yourself. You aren't heartless. You were healing. You aren't indifferent. You had to be discerning of what's worth your time, what's not worth your time. You may have been observing someone. Okay. A lot of people misread you if they don't understand you. They don't know your background. They don't know you very well. That can also be something. People who are new in your life, they could, a person who is shallow might just make a snap judgment of the water signs. Like, oh, that person's very snobby or very selfish or very, meanwhile, you're just protecting yourself. Okay, I'm getting an Ace of Water here. Very strong, powerful emotions. Okay. Access to a water sign is earned. Because you need to trust who you're allowing into your circle. What's going on for the water? I want to do Pisces. Let's see. Loyalty is honored. Yeah, you didn't like what you heard, to Pisces. You're loyal to someone. You took your time. You spent time. You took your time. You may have given a lot of money to somebody. You may have given your home, your property, because it's slow-moving earth with the most that you can give. Okay. I like this. What's under it? Yeah, okay. So you're dealing with ideas, words, things that are said when you were extremely loyal. You not only made yourself vulnerable, you like physically gave someone a place to live. Some of you may have taken in a roommate. And you realized, oh my gosh, like this roommate's like saying nasty, horrible things about me. You're going to go through this fresh start and new beginning where you are no longer in this situation. You are healing, recovering, going forward. all your wishes are coming true with the star as you go into recovery. So let's see. Yeah, you found out the truth. Maybe somebody did something publicly. We have the Ace of Swords. You heard the words. You had the idea. This person's Six of Wands. They felt like they conquered in some way. Yeah, you may have felt like lashing out at this person, or maybe they lashed out at you. There's an energy of fear of lashing out. There is a devil behind that. There is something very corrupt. You may have been dealing with corrupt situations. What's the outcome? Four of Swords. Yes, I mean, you don't want the information anymore to an emperor, but this could also be you taking back your power to have authority and oversight over your own affairs. It could also be a father you're not speaking to. The emperor can be any alpha masculine person in an official authority. You don't want to talk to this person. What's the star? An Earth King, a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. You're healing and letting go. What's going on with the outcome here for Pisces? You understand here why this situation changed. Seven of Cups. Varieties of feelings, complicated emotions, but you know the truth. Okay, so this full moon this full moon brought out someone's true colors, and now you're like, okay, I don't want that in my life anymore. I was very loyal. I provided so much to this person, and I'm no longer going to do this. If this person is going to embarrass me, criticize me, okay, threaten my safety for some. Okay, let's see what we get here for the sign of Scorpio. What's going on with Scorpio? Scorpio ruled by Pluto, and I think Pluto is in Capricorn right now. The 10th house of career, karma. So let's see what we have here. Big disruptions. What have we got here for Scorpio? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Ooh, you're dealing with someone very harsh, or maybe you had to cut someone out. Someone who's like an authority, King of Air, to a Page of Cups, though. That's like someone's very innocent, and someone is like very, very ruthless. Let's see. Scorpio. Being surprised or intrigued is a problem for this. Wow, it's like Pisces. You've invested a lot into the situation. You put a lot of money, a home, a property. It's better off if you're not surprised. You're just like, oh, well, that's what I paid for. That's what I invested in. That's what I got. Emperor's on your mind. In charge, someone in authority, maybe a father, husband. Okay, you were loyal to this person, Knight of Coin. You took your time, and the cup of emotions overflows. It seems like a betrayal, but let's see what's going on with Scorpio. You feel very, very strongly. Okay, you and a water sign, or I'm sorry, you and an air sign are talking, observing, communicating. There's a fire sign, an Aries, a Leo, or a Sag. This person is a queen. They could be grown or older, or someone who embodies Mars, fire, passion, ambition. Page of water, page of air. You feel very strongly about a situation here. On your mind is an authority figure, someone in maybe politics, having oversight, a dad. You want the judgment. Okay, you want God to like strike down, like strike, send the lightning bolts. And what do you get? Oh my gosh, The Devil. So you could feel like this situation is severely corrupt. You could feel like there's some real, like, I don't know. You think there's something really wrong here. Oh, you get the Truth. And you don't like the truth. Okay, Ace of Swords. It's similar to Pisces. You don't like what you found out. You're like, I don't like that so much. Why does your cup of emotions overflow? You want justice. Okay, you feel like it's unfair. You are going to get Major Arcana justice for this. It could be in the court. Could be you're in a divorce. For some of you, it's a Scorpio man and a fire sign woman. There could be a divorce going on. What did you find out that you didn't like? Their family, or something to do with family. 10 of Cups. Or something in the family with a 5 of Swords. Ridicule. Somebody may have blamed or ridiculed someone. Criticized them openly. Maybe at like a party or something. Like made fun of the Scorpio and said, okay, so if why would someone make fun of a Scorpio? They would take advantage of your vulnerability and say, well, why do you trust me? And you'd be like, well, I don't. Well, why'd you even... Like, it'd be kind of like someone who would be like a setup. So usually the Scorpio is really good about identifying a setup. But when we had Saturn and Mercury retrograde, you may not have realized a setup. However, you are getting justice in the near future for this. You are getting the day of judgment or reckoning coming. 4 of Swords. You're just going to cut off an earth. Maybe there's an earth sign queen here. Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. You could have felt like you were under pressure from this person. It could be a mom, a mother-in-law, your mother. It could be 2 sisters. What do you find out the truth about the Devil? It could be literally somebody is into like satanic practices. You don't agree with that. They don't agree with you. And this is a habitual 2 of Pentacles. It becomes like a habit, something that's always there. So Thanksgiving could have been a thing. There could have been conversations that were had that were like bringing up touchy subjects. You are going to get justice. And, you know, this is a good time for you to learn about who deserves your time. Who deserves the quality. Scorpio brings quality. High quality. Of your vulnerability. So it's like I sat there and listened to you about your garbage, and you turn around and, I don't know, you called me an idiot in front of the whole family, or you made me embarrassed. You maybe called me weak. Maybe you called me a bad word. You called me a person who's a coward. You could have, you know, somebody could have called you a coward, and you're like, hold on, like, all right, so no, you're getting justice here, Scorpio. All right, what do we have here for Cancer? Show us Cancer, Spirit. Show us Cancer. You're the Empress. Okay, you're embodying Taurus. You're like, this is how I look. You could be dealing with the matriarch too. You look good. There's a man here who wants to show you a big commitment, that they love you. They want to marry you, maybe. And you're like, wow, this is a big deal. If it's not marriage, they want to do something to really like show you on a material level, like a big gift. They might want to buy you a house. The Judgment is the reason for this. The Day of Revelation. There could also be something being revealed about a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. You're looking at the value and the worth and how does it apply. You're being very practical. You're stepping out of your feelings and you're just looking at the value. Like, well, what is this worth to me? There's a risk, or someone who is irresponsible or didn't plan. We have a water sign. You're coming in as the grown adult, making a mature decision. You're motivated to continue. This person is focused on other things. Maybe waiting for an answer from you. You feel like that's not good enough. Okay. Or you think they're, I mean, so for the Cancer, you may think, hey, like, you don't have enough money. We can't date. You don't even have a place to live. Maybe they have a roommate and they're like asking you to marry them. And it's like, what are you going to do? Go live in the bunk, like above? Their share bunk beds? No. You're letting this go and healing, and you're finding your true worth. So for Cancer, this is all about knowing your value and knowing, hey, I deserve much more than that. I don't deserve just some kind of like fly by night. I met someone in a bar and they can't afford me. That's kind of what this is, strangely. Okay, there's a choice or an option. You're weighing your options. Why? When you clearly think it's 5 of coin, you think it's not enough. You're like, this is not enough. It could be a job where you're like, it's not enough money. Why is the person 3 of rods? They're waiting on the beach, anticipating. Oh. They may have yelled at you as their method. With a Tower, Knight of Swords and Tower, they may have like threatened you, like if you don't like move in with me, or if you don't do this. Yeah, they want you to commit to their group, their thing, in order to keep you kind of like in a cultish. This almost feels culty. Like, I'm going to threaten you that if you don't join in with us in this thing, then you're out, or something like that. I don't think you'll be out. They won't kick you out for not, maybe it's like contributing. You have to pay money. They want you to contribute, pay money. And you're like, well, I'll consider it, but what am I getting out of it? You think, well, I get nothing out of this, or I'll lose. It could be a risky investment. The ideas that this person has, you feel, are based on resentment towards the world in some way, or resenting you. You could feel like they want to change you. The Discovery, finding this out and exposing it, and Death. What is the Star? Again, you find out the truth. This is like Scorpio. So that last full moon brought in the truth about many people in many situations to provide you with clarity, so that, and you know, they're actually going to be, what is the person going to be going through? 10 of Swords. So they're going through something extremely humiliating. They don't understand. They're going to be embarrassed, ashamed. Okay. All right. That's what I have for the water signs. Thank you so much. And I'll see you again next time.